So, physical touch is the first love language that I'd like to cover right now. And physical touch has kind of a wide variety that you may not even expect to be going on. So, one of the easy, simple ways is just, I'll show it up here, is just a handhold. And they talk about, men talk about like how important a handshake is to some people. Some people, now this may make more sense, some people base so much on that first handshake. They shake that hand and they're like, oh, that's a good grip. Oh, that's a weak grip. And that makes a big difference to them. So one of the first ways that a lot of people communicate by physical touch is by holding hands, the handshake, something like that. Nice to meet you. Now, other ways that people do the physical touch is really just a light little tap on the arm or on the shoulder. Now, that's one of the easiest ways when you're talking to somebody, just to they just kind of reach out and just go, thank you, or something like that. And next, obviously, something also similar to that is just the simple back rub, or putting your hand on someone's shoulder. That's also physical touch. Physical touch also comes in, of course, in the hug. So many people love hugs, and then there's people that don't like hugs. But if you got a physical touch person, a hug. If you say I'm sorry and give them a hug, that could mean so much more to them than you could ever know. Even if they don't even look like they want a hug right then. If love is, if they look totally pissed at you, but their love language is physical touch. If you give them a hug, you're already 50% of the way to redemption, because they're like, oh my God, they're touching me. They must love me. One of the things that I can remember from dating a lot is I liked to scoot close to my dates. Like, I like to be like leg to leg, shoulder to shoulder with my dates. And like often, like I'd put like my knee, so my knee was touching their knee, and so there was just like a little bit of pressure. I think for me, something about physical touch is about pressure, because I like the knee touching. I like to lean into people. That's one of my favorites too. It's just like leaning on someone. There's something for me visceral about the way I can trust somebody if I can lean on them. So one of the things that he mentions that's super important in this book is physical touch is about timing. And that there's times when people are receptive to physical touch, and there's times that people aren't receptive to physical touch. My husband, whose second language is physical touch, is definitely an on-off thing. If he's really focusing, if he's in his man zone, in his mission zone, in his cave zone, then physical touch is not his deal. He may want to be close to me, he may want to be in the same room with me, but he doesn't want a whole bunch of he doesn't want little kisses, he doesn't want me to start rubbing him. He's focused and intense and in his thing. So physical touch can be an on and off thing. There's times when he's very open and receptive and he really wants physical touch. And then there's times where he doesn't want physical touch. You can equate it to being like a cat or like a dog. Like a cat comes over. When a cat wants to be pet, it comes over and it kind of lays down on you, and you're supposed to pet the cat. On a date, it's not always so obvious like what's going to work. So you may have to pick and choose your times with physical touch. There may be times when someone physically touches you. Maybe it's because you're in public. Some people have deals with public. Maybe deals because you're in an enclosed space. You never know what that person's thinking. Assumptions are very dangerous. What you can know is that there's appropriate times for physical touch. And sometimes you're going to try it out and it's going to work. And other times you're going to try it out and it's not going to work. And just because someone rejects it once doesn't mean it's always bad. It just means that it might be a thing of timing. And what the biggest thing is just kind of notice how many points you seem to rack up with physical touch. If you give a person a hug and all of a sudden they have this warm, fuzzy, glowy feeling on them, go for it more often. If you give a person a hug and they're still a little bit cold and distant, well then, maybe this isn't so much for them. You just got to watch for the cues. That's physical touch.